Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people.
Okay. And YouTube just picked it up, so we've got a lag of a couple of seconds there.
And there's always a lag.
Yeah, it's just, I kind of, check it each time to see how much it's going to be, because, then when I'm trying to respond to people who are asking questions in the side chat, it helps to know, because we may be on a different subject from when they ask the question.
Yeah, we can always circle back.
Yep.
So let's see here. It was Sunscreen Day.
Yep.
Very
Good
useful
day for it here. It is blindingly bright and something like 88 degrees out there.
Very useful little product. Make sure you have a SPF above 30. You use at least an ounce of it on your body. You make sure you're covering most of you. It can also help with aging skin.
Yep.
Personally, I hate the stuff. I don't like the feel of it on my skin. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like to have to do regular intervals of reapplying it. I'd rather just cover up as much as I can and stay off the beach.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't like putting it on, and then it just, I'm afraid that everything I touch is going to get greasy. But I don't like the sunlight to begin with, so generally I try to avoid going out when the sun's out.
A vampire. I am so pale that I need to actually build up before I go up into this.
Well, I've got the Nordic skin, so in the winter I can stand in front of a snowbank and you won't see me.
Good reference there.
With me, when I bip, I can get as dark as a Latina.
And hello, got the scummer.
To build up to. Oh.
Yep, we got Godless Scummer and Antjo so far. How you guys doing out there?
Yeah, I think the whole not liking the feel of it and the smell of it is probably an autistic thing.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of autistic people are very sensitive to, textures and things, and like there are certain fabrics I can't wear.
And I may have a suspicion that I may actually have an allergy to this stuff because I actually seem to burn more with this with sunscreen.
Yeah, well, it could be that your skin is reacting to it somehow.
That is a possibility.
Yep. That's something I wouldn't really know for sure. You'd have to ask a dermatologist. So probably an opportune point for me to mention that do not take anything on this channel as medical advice.
We are not doctors.
I don't even play one on TV. Jura says, I grew up with a redheaded mother. I was indoctrinated into the usage of sunscreen from a young age.
Let's see here. Our AI overview says usually caused by an allergic reaction to chemical filters or overlooked application in mistake or increased sun sensitivity from medications. Well, I already have increased sun sensitivity naturally, so.
Yeah. Yeah, some are saying it's hot there. I've seen the reports that the UK is suffering from some record heats.
Oh yes, apparently we're looking down the barrel of a super El Nino this year, which could basically cause a global catastrophe.
Don't they have to come up with a new prefix for El Nino about every 5 years?
Yeah.
It's El Nino or El Nino, and the little boy or the little girl. I do not know why they called it that.
You're breaking up, Commander. So we were missing some of your words that were chopped out.
Yeah, that usually works best for me.
I do not know.
Go
I
ahead.
do not know why they call it El Nino and El Nino, because it just means little boy and little girl. So how does that have anything to do with weather?
Yeah, I never understood that either because, yeah, I knew what the words meant and I didn't know how that connected to weather patterns. It's like you either had a boy summer or a girl summer. Hmm.
It's because it usually would peak around December.
Yeah.
It's sort of a biblical thing. The Christmas child, essentially,
Ah, I
or
see.
Spanish for little girl.
Yeah.
The colder opposite counterpart of the cycle, little girl. So
Yeah, I too, when I was doing the landscaping, I mostly just, had clothing and a wide brim hat as far as sun blocking because I was out in the sun from literally dawn to dusk. So,
apparently, I must have blocked out with the clothes I got because I know that not all clothes will block the UV, but stuff I wear seems to work just fine. I know the hat specifically is UV blocking, but
cotton is good for it. I always looked for things that were, 100% cotton.
yeah, that must be the reason why it worked for me. It's the cotton shirt I wear.
Yeah. Which was good because it was, it's one of the fabric, excuse me, one of the fabric textures that, you know, is real comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Hey, Harmonica Man and Unfinished Journey. Well, everybody's welcome to jump in here, and if you didn't see a link, just let me know where I should send you one.
And if anybody was wondering where I
Hello,
was,
stop the stupidity.
and if anybody was wondering where I was last week, a lightning storm knocked out the power in my neighborhood for the day on Monday, and then when the power came back on, it turns out this power surge fried my router. So I had to wait and eat for them to. So I called up the service like, oh, you can just keep the router you have and we'll send you a new one. Oh wait, no, we just checked. Your system's outdated. We need to send a technician out now to redo your entire system.
Mm-hmm. That's what they want you to believe. They were just trying to keep Mage off of here because they know my streams are crap without him.
Well, truth be told, they said it was going to take 3 business days to send a new router out anyway, so it would have been on Thursday either way.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I actually got something I ordered off of Amazon. I'm waiting for. Interesting enough, the new router is actually from Amazon. Apparently, the internet service I have is doing some deal with Amazon, and they're using Amazon stuff.
My GPS got trashed a while ago, like a month ago, when we were loading some stuff into the van. Sloth Girl's son managed to hit the GPS with something. So I had just gotten a replacement for it, and it had arrived on Saturday, which was good because I went to a party Saturday night and I was afraid I wouldn't be able to find the place. And worked great through the weekend. I was real happy with it. It was it was one of these, Chinese knockoff ones. But I was looking at the description and I was betting, even though it had a different name that was the same as the one I had. And I was right. It was just an upgraded version, same software and everything. So it
Uh,
worked great through the weekend, and I was loving it. And last night, when I turned the engine on to come home, the GPS didn't come on,
no, lovely.
and I can't get it to power up anymore. So yeah, I've got to get him to send me a replacement now.
Yeah, it seems to have it fixed. Next, I really need to get back to doing the stuff on my channels. Just can't seem to get around to it.
Mm.
Can't seem to get back into the groove. You know.
Well, for your media musings, start by picking a theme and just kick that around for a while, then you get ideas.
Yeah, I suppose I could talk about that Gargoyles reboot that never happened.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. It's like I would kind of like to see Gargoyles again, but considering what they did to the last season of it on Disney, that they completely ruined it in the last season. So I don't know how much faith I have as far as, a reboot of it, if it would be any better than that.
And
I'm afraid as long as Disney's involved in it, it's just probably not going to be good.
yeah, that's kind of how Disney is nowadays.
Disney ruined something.
Why
Never.
did it become like that?
I don't know.
Well, actually, the animated series was Disney all along, and they did 3 good seasons, and then for some reason they decided to get rid of the head writer and completely change the format.
I'm almost through the second season. I've been rewatching it.
I don't have it anymore. I had actually recorded the whole thing on VHS off of the cable because I got my late fiance into it because, she thought it was just kind of going to be another silly superhero show. But, I got her to watch it for a while. It's like, yeah, the characters were really well done.
Yeah, the animation is really good too.
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing for me, for me to really get engaged with any story is just it has to show some character development. So I don't like the shows that, have the reset button at the end of every episode. I like to see the characters grow some.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been doing is working on my story a lot. So that's taking up a lot of time.
Yeah, excuse me, Monday night, somebody has started a new local writers group. So I went to that Monday night and just was talking to a couple of people there. So maybe with the local writers group, maybe I'll have somebody to hold me more accountable, and I'll actually start typing this thing up so that other people can see it.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm a little bit late. Something happened here that I needed my attention. Something with 2 parties at the same day of the same people, but on different addresses, like a complete lack
You
of
had been friends for
coordination.
over 60 or 70 years.
Complete lack of coordination, and I just wrote a complaint letter to the society where they are living that this needs to change. But that is something else. What is the subject today?
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Oh, I need that. I need that because I will burn up like a cinder in the snow, in the sun.
Oh.
Well, there's a kitty cat on the lap, I assume.
Yeah, hold on a moment. I'll bring this up.
Hmm? Sleuth's channel and your
Yeah, I
oh,
just saw it. I'm working at it.
okay.
Share screen.
Why do I feel like I could probably get to there or pull it up before you even get to
Yep.
Okay, there it is. You need to bring it up. There you go.
Yeah. This is unsure that this was her boy apparently passed away yesterday.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, that's
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I know that it sucks.
Well, I'm still broken up over losing Sammy's son, so I truly know how you're feeling.
You know, last night last night I was having a dream. I had my a little cockatiel with me.
Yeah.
For some reason in the dream, I was trying to find her harness to take her outside. I didn't have a harness. I didn't use a harness on her. I always put her in a carrier cage. But I don't know why I had that. Was thinking of having a harness in that. But she was riding around on my pants pocket like she was clipped to the side of my pants. So she usually how she usually he hung on to me.
Yeah.
missing my mom.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw.
and I used to say it on Jura that it looked like I'm sorry, Andrew, I can't remember his name, but it looked like he and Sammy's son were brothers. They had very similar markings and coats.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, sir. If there's anything we can do for you, do let us know.
How old was the cat? If it is high age, yeah, then it's understandable. But
Yeah,
I lost my last cat because he just suddenly he went sick and he wasn't it was done with him.
yeah.
He didn't have a name.
My last cat was Justice, like Justice but different.
Mm-hmm.
18 years. That's a good age
Oh,
for a
that's a
cat.
good age.
Oh yeah.
My,
He lived a good life then.
my Justice became
That's
was only
pretty good
13.
innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We are changing shapes and sizes a lot. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just stating the fact.
Hey, Math Bag, haven't seen you about in a while.
Hey, good to see you, Math Big.
Yeah, that's with Sammy's son. But yeah, Sammy's son. About 2 months before he died, I'd had him into the vet, and they just said that his kidneys were shutting down.
That happened to I had my cat Josh there. He only lived about 9 years, but he had a kidney failure. But the last cat I had, no, second to last actually, he was a black and white long hair. It was actually my mom's cat, and I took her in, and after my mom passed, and that cat ended up becoming incontinent, and I just couldn't, and we ended up having to put her to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidney failure is actually the most common cause of death for domestic cats. Yeah, and the main thing, people, we talk about being hydrated all the time. Cats are evolved from desert animals, so they really don't have a thirst response. So generally, if anything you can do to get your cat to encourage your cat to drink more water, or if you can just do some kind of foods with gravy or broth in them so that they get more moisture on a regular basis, that's the best thing you can do to avoid it.
Usually, what I would do for feeding my cats would be they get dry food in the morning and wet food at night.
Yeah. Well, I leave the dry kibble out for them to snack on whenever, and then they get the wet food at night. Ethan, of course, is of the impression that he is supposed to get the wet food at least 4 times a day.
Oh, of course.
No, that is what a cat is for.
Ethan
what
also
you are
believes
for.
he should still be putting down the same amount of wet food I put down before, even though he's alone instead of there being 2 of them.
Well, everybody out there who has their own floofs, go and give your floof a nice pet.
Yeah.
I'm giving mine a nice pet. She's getting belly scritches, and she's sitting here enjoying them.
Yeah, Ethan's sleeping on the windowsill, but I am going to be getting Sage as a friend of Molly has his cat Sage. I think I've mentioned before that her roommate's dog is harassing the cat.
Oh, so you're getting
I'm
another
going to be
kitty.
taking Sage in. Yeah,
That's good.
just because Sage needs some place where she's not stressed out every day.
I think it'll be good for you to have another cat around.
I wasn't, I didn't plan on getting one so soon. But Molly's son volunteers at the Humane Society, and I had already mentioned to him that if they had a cat that it seemed like nobody wanted, like one that, only had one eye or was missing a leg or something, that I would take them. So I was just going to leave it open for, a cat that desperately needed a home.
Oh, sounds like that one needs a home, so.
Yeah.
And hello, Demon Orb.
Oh,
Hello, Orby.
Orby.
I
Is it
can't
Orby or
believe
is it
shutting
Orbot?
down my computer and starting it back up created and gave me 3 seconds soon enough and response time.
Yeah. Well, Orbeez are those little hydraulic beads. So is it Orby or is it Orbot?
It's Orby at
And
Orby.
I will be surprised if anybody else remembers the series The Mighty Orbots.
I was just going to reference that.
And
Oh.
yes, Demon Orbs, I do have that video of you mocking a Roger Mudfossil on my phone.
Is that his name?
Mage,
Roger
you do
Mudfossil?
surprise me. Sorry. Mage, you do tend to surprise me as far as having a knowledge of a lot of shows that I would have thought would be before your time.
That one's not quite before my time. That was from the 80s. I remember that one from when I was a kid. In fact, it may have inspired one of my first characters I came up with when I was little.
Yeah, it was from the early 80s. But it was also not like a real blockbuster show. Even when it was on, it wasn't never gained a huge audience.
There you go. The Mighty
Okay.
Orbots.
Yep.
Who are they?
Oh, that actually looks familiar.
I have no idea. I'm from the Netherlands. We never saw that. I never
I
saw
remember those.
Yeah, like I say, it never had a huge audience here either, but it had enough to sell some toys.
that.
And they'd all combine
Saturday
into,
morning cartoons.
yep, and they'd all combine into one big super robot.
So kind of a forerunner to Power Rangers in a sense then.
Not quite.
Not quite, but you can see where they probably got some ideas from.
I'd say it may be closer to Voltron than
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
And I do remember Voltron. Remember Voltron.
Yep.
See, cousin from Ultron. I'm serious. Ultron from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They love these names with Tron on the end. Megatron.
Yeah.
Or just Tron, the movie.
Yeah, it was just a common suffix for anything electronic.
Yeah, or everything science fiction.
Oh, I missed Andre's last thing here. That's how I ended up with my cat. My friend's other cats were picking on him, and my friend begged me to take him. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a good thing that my lease limits me to only having 2 pets. Otherwise, I would probably be, feeling sorry for a lot of them and taking them in. Yeah. If I had a house, I could quickly end up with 15 to 20 cats.
No, I think one is enough.
No, one is not enough. You should have at least 2, so they've got, somebody to keep them company.
I'm gonna unpopular opinion here, but one is too many for me.
I had once had 2, and one got stolen
Well,
because it was a black cat with blue eyes. And my and that was the companion of Justus.
Yeah.
And,
well, especially if you're going to adopt a kitten, always take a litter mate with them. It'll help them adjust so much better. Otherwise, it's so traumatic for them to be separated from their whole family.
Yeah, but the black cat was, my son found it at the bus stop.
Yeah.
It was probably feral, but it was like 5-6 weeks old. And so we took it home, and it was completely round. And then someone came and said he could have worms. That we gave him a worm pill, and half an hour later, a handful of this disgusting worms came out of him. And we went to the vet, and he said, "Yeah, this was worms," but he was off it. And then I discovered that my cat Justus became his mother, and they could get along so well. And then, when it was like 2 years, when she was like 2 years old, I had her sterilized, and then suddenly she was gone, the black one.
Oh.
They put advertisements everywhere. Have you seen the cat and stuff?
Yeah.
Black cat, blue eyes. And my cat Justus was looking for him, and he couldn't find him. And he was, you know what happens then. And then a few years later, I heard a few kids talking from, "Hey, do you remember that time that this car stopped and got this cat and drove off?" And then I said, "Oh, wait, when was that, and where was that?" No, it was there, and they pointed at my at the street in front of my house.
Yeah.
And was it the black cat? I said, yes, it was a black cat. So I now know that it was stolen, and that is okay. It is not good, but I hope he had a good life.
Unfortunately, people who would just steal one like that, I worry about what kind of motives they would have that they wanted a black cat for then.
Yeah. Yeah, now we have a cat that
I need some alcohol.
But that's how the 3 cats that I took in New York all came from the feral colony in the park. That I started out feeding them out on the deck, and as the weather got bad, I let them into the garage, and eventually they wound up coming into the house. And except one of them, that we called Simon was Simon Simone, because no one ever got close enough to determine which gender they were. And they would come in the house, and they would like nest on top of my computer hutch and that, but would never let me actually touch them. And he was coming into the house for like 2 years, and like 6 months before I moved from New York, they disappeared.
Well, we
Yeah.
have the meowl.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Meow. That's AI.
Yeah,
It's funny.
Yeah, it's cute.
I consider this to be a pretty good AI. You think?
Yeah. It's well done and it's harmless. It's just cute. But Simon Simone, Sloth Girl was the only one who ever actually got to touch them. She was the only one that they stayed still long enough for her to pet them.
Oh yeah. I hope my black cat had a good life.
Yeah.
I miss Corky.
Well,
Corky was the sweetest black cat in the world.
uh, a lot of shelters won't adopt out black cats around Halloween because too often people they want to have them for like being Halloween decorations, and then sometime in November they wind up dumping them back at the shelter again.
Mm.
That's real.
Yeah, and it's become such a common thing that most shelters will not adopt out black cats in the month of October. Hello, Victoria. Well, you are Victoria.
You are?
Well,
That's what it says on the label, isn't it?
when they're typing it, I'm Victoria, but when I'm reading it, then they're Victoria, right?
Runs into a conundrum there, isn't it? Yeah, here we are. The little kitty wants fish.
Mm.
This might be AI as well. Kind of hard to say.
No, this one is probably real. They have apps like this that will just like run fish or mice around on your tablet for cats to play with. Petunia was always fascinated that Sloth Girl would just put just put where people had like recorded at the bird feeder and that. And Petunia was always fascinated with watching the birds on TV. Like she was ready to pounce, just waiting for one of them to step forward and she was going to pounce on them. Oh, and just a general thing, everyone, that I am sorry. I have been terrible at responding to all of my messages and emails for the past week. So I know that there are a couple of people who are waiting for responses from me, and I just have had so much going on that I haven't gotten to read them all.
Everybody see it?
Yeah, it's a cat, but you can barely see the cat.
Only when I look real hard. It's definitely one that I would have walked by it without seeing it.
There you go.
Yep.
So, is it a sidewalk tiger or a tree panda?
No,
we
it's
have
a cat.
We have a cat like that. We have a cat like that.
It's amazing how the tree has that chameleon bark so it can perfectly match the cat.
Yeah.
I love cats and some dogs. And Buster He was a Boston Bull Terrier. We only had him for a few months before his original owner wanted him back, but he was entirely run by an 2-pound Yorkshire Terrier, and the 2-pound Yorkshire Terrier was run by the cat. So the biggest dog was actually the lowest on the pecking order.
Yeah. I love dogs too. If I had a house, I would have a dog. But with the small apartment, I feel it's unfair to have a dog if they don't have a place that can run without a leash. So I would have to have a fenced yard before I could have a dog. I'm very partial to the sled dog varieties too. So, any
When
dog
I had a, I'm
any
sorry.
dog that's less than knee high, I figure I'm going to be tripping over, and I don't want a huge one. So, for me, the right size for a dog is something that comes between my knee and my hip.
After that raccoon incident, one of my chickens has been extra clingy, and I have to really watch my step when I'm feeding them.
When I had the teacup Yorkie, we were actually afraid to let it run out in the yard for fear that it would be picked up by a bird of prey. And that dog was the best thing that ever came out of Cousin Grace. She was a racist Roman Catholic cousin that we left in a Jewish cemetery. I literally had her sent to a Jewish funeral home by accident and buried in a Reformed Jewish cemetery. That was a mitzvah.
Yeah. That is a legitimate concern, though. That I've known of instances of small dogs and cats that got attacked by hawks or eagles. Especially the cats. if they're
Plenty
out
of
at night,
ospreys
or
in the area.
yeah. Well, and the cats, especially if they're out at night, also large owls. That was a big concern for me with the cats in Michigan. And something that my sister never took seriously, and surprised one of her cats disappeared. I mean, the place.
Yeah. It's a bird of prey of any size,
Well,
yeah.
And we don't know if hers was a bird, but she's living on the fringe of the forest, and the cats are running loose outside, and it's like, yeah, there's so many predators there.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of the UK I'm from, we haven't got too many large birds of prey. Buzzards are probably the biggest thing we've got, but
Yeah.
obviously you go somewhere like Scotland, you got things like the golden eagle, which is even bigger than the American bald eagle. They're massive things. Yeah, they've been known to sort of attack take away pets and stuff.
Well, when I was living the same place my sister's living now, that I lost my cat Guapo. That he got surrounded by a bunch of raccoons, and I heard the noise, but by the time I found him, it was too late. Because it was like 5 or 6 raccoons had surrounded him.
It's one thing I'm glad we don't have in the UK is raccoons.
We can send you some.
You can keep the trash pandas.
Oh, come on. We traded squirrels a couple 100 years ago.
Yeah, look how that worked out for the British squirrels.
Damn tree rats.
Yeah, but the British squirrels are surviving quite well here.
Yeah, but when they imported the greys in, it sort of like then a lot of the native red squirrels didn't, I think the greys carried something that a lot of the reds were not immune to. I think.
I didn't think of that factor in it.
That's what I think happened, but there are some areas again in the UK. It's like again parts of Scotland, The Isle of Wight, which is
Yep.
just so it's a couple of brown sea islands, sort of islands that are just sort of off the main British mainland, to say that there are sort of red squirrel populations.
Yeah. Well, most people don't realize the red squirrels are not native to North America, but like especially in the early 1800s, they became a fashionable thing for the well-to-do. That much of how the gender reveal parties got out of hand now, that in the 1800s it was kind of a way to show off their wealth, was to import a couple of hampers full of red squirrels for like weddings and such, and then just release them.
That's do you know what? Very similar stories I've heard about the introduction of grey squirrels into the UK. That they were sort of sometimes brought in as like expensive, status symbol, wasn't it, to have an animal that was somewhat exotic or something.
Well, yeah, to ship live animals across, in the days of sailing ships. Yeah, I'm sure that cost quite a bit of money. So yeah, it was just a way for people to show off, that they could afford to waste extravagant amounts of money.
Oh, that's actually quite silly.
Do we already show off this image that's in the
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Demon Orb says it wasn't a virus or anything. It's just that the gray squirrels carry guns.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And they carry gloves.
Okay.
Okay. So that's when baby looked. Well, she actually wouldn't hold still for any photos, but that's what she looked like when she was just got the hair done, and she would basically run up to anyone and lick them to death. And so, how the smaller breeds tend to be one person yappy dogs?
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't baby. And when you were driving a car, she would constantly want to sit on your shoulder. And that's a good approximation for how she looked right down to little bow I used to put in her heel. And they have heel. Yorkies have heel. It's not bow. So if you have allergies, Yorkie is one of the breeds that might be right for you.
Oh.
I have found a photo of Justus and the Black Cat. I uploaded it.
No, ankle was safe.
Oh.
And now you can see how close they were.
Yeah. Yeah, she's.
I mean, well, baby, your ankle was safe. She wouldn't nip your ankle. She would lick it.
So I think for little terriers like that, they're my favourite's West Highland Terriers. I love them.
Well, like I say, small dogs, one, I'm afraid I'm going to trip on them. And two, they tend to have high-pitched yaps, which are difficult for me. And if that wasn't enough, what Seal did against small dogs for me was I worked for this woman who had Irish wolfhounds. So three of the four dogs outweighed me. And then she also started breeding Italian greyhounds. Now, the Irish wolfhounds I had no problem with. The damn little Italian greyhounds would, of course, always be running around and nipping at my ankles when I'm trying to carry something.
Molly might be part Italian greyhound.
Yeah. And it's like, I could have easily punted one of these dogs at least 10 feet. But there wasn't anything I could actually do about them, because they're animals. I can't be brutal to them, but there wasn't any way that I could keep them out of my way when I was working. And when you're carrying something that weighs 60 or 70 pounds, and you got three little dogs running around your ankles, and you're trying not to trip over them.
Yeah.
How about me? I found this little tiny centipede in the wash bowl in the shower. It was tiny, perhaps half an inch. I took a piece of paper, put it under it, put a glass over it, and then I put it outside. That's me.
I would do that. With my late fiance, we made a truce with the spiders that they could have the ceiling because we didn't use it much. But if they came down below the top of the door frames, that was grounds for eviction. And then I'd have to do the same thing. I'd have to catch them in a plastic cup and toss them outside, because we didn't want to kill them.
I never kill spiders.
Well,
there was
and
even
for
one.
people who freak out about spiders are never a problem. Spiders, at worst, are a symptom of a problem you're not seeing. Because you wouldn't have spiders hanging around if there weren't enough smaller bugs for them to be eating. So if you get rid of all the spiders, your home's going to wind up being overrun by some kind of other insect.
We have these kind of black spiders. They're about an inch tall, an inch and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And if they bite you, you can get a really swollen hand of it. But if you just put your hand in front of them, they walk on your hand. They look at you, and then when oh, now it's time to put me down. You put them down, and they walk off. They don't do anything. They're not aggressive.
And most spiders are like that as long as, unless they're cornered or startled. Biting, but producing the venom actually takes a lot of resources for the spider. So that's like their last line of defense, and they don't want to use it unless they have to.
But if it just walks over your hand, nothing will happen. Just don't close your hand.
Hey, Molly. Yeah, as long as they, feel that they've got an easy way to escape if they need to, they'll stay calm.
And I had one in my work shed, and it came. It lived behind the plank that I had all my wrenches on, and it came looking out. And when I put my hand, it just walked on my hand, and then I put it back, and the spider came to know me. And I don't know how long spiders can live, but I think that spider became something like 3 years because he recognized me every time for 3 years.
Yeah, I was never sure if it was the same spider or if it was a line of them.
Yeah, but that was
in New York. We had an orb weaver that was living on the shed for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, but this was something. It came in, and I reached my hand out, and it jumped on my hand, and it was for 3 years now.
Do you know what species of spider it was?
Yeah, black spider. Big hairy black spider for our doing. It's like the biggest are about
some kind of house
1.5
spider, a
inch.
jumping spider.
Yeah. We're 1.5 inch tall, including the legs.
Yeah.
Oh, those are daddy long legs.
No.
They're that tall.
Well, daddy long legs refers to a different variety of spiders and some non-spiders. But yes, it's possible it could have been, but 1 to 3 years is a lifespan of a spider.
Yeah, and Aunt Jura's right. If you put indoor spiders outdoors, they probably won't survive because we have actually evolved species of house spiders.
Yeah, that is some stuff. If you kick a spider out, he will do anything to run as fast as can to get inside again.
Yep. Yeah, Molly, these are Ned's kitties, except the black one got stolen some years ago.
And the orange one died like 10 years ago or something. No.
Yeah.
6-7 years ago.
Yeah, and Molly, since you came in late, also Aunt Jura just lost her kitty yesterday. and I used to say that it looked like hers and Sammy's son were brothers because they had very similar markings. But I never did find out if Aunt Yours if Aunt Yours had penguin ancestry or not.
I
Yeah.
have to put that into one of the slides or episodes where there's a cat and a penguin.
That would be great. I would really love it if you would do that for me.
Does this going to work? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that's going to work. All right.
See, but I wonder. I wonder though. I don't know if America has this, but we've actually got a cat in the UK that is technically a civil servant.
Who?
Yep. Larry, the cat who lives at 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister's residence. He's there's actually an office called Chief Mouser to the Cabinet Office.
Yeah.
It was started in the 1950s, but it's been tradition to have a cat at number 10. The current incumbent, Larry, is, as we say at Keir Starmer, is the 6th Prime Minister to serve under him.
Yeah, I've read about Larry.
This
Yeah,
is why
Larry's one of the more famous ones.
this is why I think Molly has Italian Greyhound in her.
Yep.
Hold on, this is gonna
Well,
remove that. There. Okay, so this is from the dog breed identification. This is an Italian Greagle in their identification.
Yep.
And you can see Molly.
Yep.
Very,
yeah, the
very
Beagles
similar.
are a bit of a stockier build. The Italian Greyhounds are runners. They're very, very thin build.
Give you another idea. Here's another picture. This is actually the very first day I brought her home.
Yeah, but I see what you mean. Yeah, from the head shape and such.
Why do they call them greyhounds if they're not grey?
Yeah, I don't know how they got that name.
Do
I
they
also
travel
don't
by
know
bus?
how the buses got that name. Yeah.
I'm one of these guys. I love dogs as long as they are from somewhere else.
Yeah, actually, while the Bidens were in the White House, they had a cat in the White House.
Oh, apparently we're not entirely certain where the name Greyhound comes from because it's not from the color.
I wonder if it, is like a mispronunciation of maybe a Gaelic or an Irish word.
Let's see here. Old English Norse is likely derived from the Old English Greg Hund or Greg Hund. Some scholars believe this combines Gree, an old word for bitch, and Hund, Hundr, old English for hound dog.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
So I just assumed they travelled by Greyhound buses, and that's how they got the name. But
Yeah, but the Greyhound bus is named after the Greyhound.
Aunt Jura's because they hunted the Greys.
Let's see, other things comes for possibly Greek hound. And this kind of got bastardized, I guess. Grey's hound.
I can
Greyed
see
hound.
I can definitely see. Well, since they were Italian Greyhounds, I can definitely see that it could have been a mispronunciation of Greek hound. That would fit.
Let's see, Grey's hound. Historically, these dogs hunted primarily by sight rather than scent. That's actually kind of how the greyhounds are. They hunt by sight.
Yeah, rabbits and other large rodents.
Grey's hound changing into greyhound. I can see that.
That's why they have the old electronic rabbit going around the track at the greyhound races, isn't it? It's
that makes an interesting thing with the Italian with the Beagle Greyhound mix is you get that mix of an animal that hunts primarily by scent and an animal that hunts primarily by sight.
Oh, I'm sorry, porpoise. unless I scroll down, it only shows me 5 people at a time. So
And it didn't give the little ding that your came in.
yeah.
It's been a bit hit or miss lately.
My connection seems to be having some trouble just with general handshakes. That it misses a lot of things, and like logging into StreamYard. It wasn't showing the the numerical code it gives you to log in was not showing in my email. And it's like I had to have it sit on my email, and I had to refresh it twice before it finally gave me the message so I could log in.
Huh.
I've just been having a lot of things like that happening, for the last few days. So I'm assuming it's something with my service provider trying to do an upgrade again. Whenever they try to do an upgrade, it fucks things up, and when they're done, I don't notice any difference from how they started.
Yeah, that's kind of how usually it goes.
Yeah, yesterday we had a day that the internet flipped on and off and out and in and out and in. And then suddenly it was good again. I don't know what they were doing there.
Porn? Well, it's going out and in and out and in. And it must be porn.
But that's not what the internet does. It's not internet porn.
Shove it in, pull it out, shove it in, pull it. That was a song from the 70s. No innuendo there at all.
No. It's like Ivy's dirty song, first dirty song that she sang, or she playback. She pretended to sing. That was this song.
That Never Ends.
No, there was a song of come on, an Australian comedian, a woman named Cat McSnatch.
I've heard it goes on and on, my friends.
And it was called "You're a Cunt."
Yeah, some people started singing and just knew what they had.
I can't imagine an Australian using a word like that.
Yeah, you can just you look it up on YouTube. Ivy's dirty song. I think that's what it's called.
And they'll keep on singing it forever just because.
It was
Yeah,
really
I had a variation on that called "The Shit That Never Ends."
Tim Curry did a wonderful rendition of a song. I'm not sure what the title of the song was, but oh, what a beauty. Have you ever seen one twice the size of that? I'm going on about this, and it's like in the last verse, he tells you he's talking about a zucchini he grew in his garden.
Well, there is something called a cucumber song as well, which I'll let you discover that one by yourselves if you want.
Yeah. This you can in YouTube. You can just Google find Ivy's dirty song, and you will. It is on top of the list.
Yeah,
It's like the shaving scream song.
As far as the song that never ends, that's a lie. The song does end eventually because everyone will beat the people singing it until they're unconscious.
This is just I thought perhaps I would ruin Ivy's career with her doing that song, but everybody loved it.
Maybe we can come up with something even more annoying. Combine the song that never ends with the 6-7 thing. See, it would work. It would work. It's already annoying. We haven't come up with it yet.
Mage, I am going to find out where you live if you continue this line of thinking, and make you pay.
Molly's son did the 6-7 thing.
I second that motion, Porpoise.
Molly's son kept doing the 6-7 thing until he wound up at a group event where all the teenagers there were doing it. And at that point, even he got so annoyed with it, he has not done it again since.
Come on up, Athena. You know, if you're going to show everyone your butt, you're required to show the rest of you, right?
Oh. And there, Ivy dropped the link for her song.
Okay, showing your tail does not trigger that clause.
Yep. Hi, Athena. We have talked a lot about kitties on the show today.
Athena, go get your toy. Let's play. Or go get a toy. By the way, a toy does not mean my foot. Although I know in your mind that's one of the best toys. Because it's attached to something that makes such neat noises when you attack it.
Ivy's a star. She can produce heavier elements from hydrogen.
Oh.
Hold on a second. I got to knock
do I
on
need
the
to get you
door.
some flea? Yeah, I do need to get you some flea medicine. But... And you have a dental appointment coming up, Athena. You're going to enjoy that as much as I do. Maybe even a little more, since you'll be sedated and I'm not. That's okay. You're just getting the teeth cleaned, Athena.
Try to give a cat a bath.
There's generally no need to give cats baths because they keep themselves pretty clean.
There is when they throw up all over themselves.
I said there's generally no need. So I see we've had, have we exhausted topics already? I just got in here. I mean, I've only got a few more days before the school year ends, so. In the meantime, if you're listening, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can get up to 500 subscribers. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so we can get up to 1,000.
Subscribe to mine so I can get to 666.
Good, good.
See what we
Hello,
have
stop
here.
this stupidity.
See somebody complaining about somebody wearing a tuck front shirt at Costco. Let's see. I cannot believe that Costco, a family store, where there are many children with their parents, and to allow this POS to wear that shirt in the store. I will be contacting Costco corporate later today. I know we in the USA have a freedom of speech, but not hate speech. Ensure these kinds of statements when in a public place. President Donald J. Trump should take action.
That
Fuck
didn't
Trump.
work well for him
Fuck
last time.
Trump.
Well, there's probably just as well. I don't go out there because I'd be tempted to wear that T-shirt for the black metal band Cradle of Filth have right on the back in massive letters. This is Jesus is a CUNT.
And of course, somebody posted this picture right out under the comments. Fuck Biden.
Yeah.
And yada yada. Biden blows. Fuck Biden.
Have people heard about that? The guy who got arrested in Georgia, I think it was, for posting a meme that was actually quoting Trump. and he got arrested because the sheriff claimed that he was doing hate speech and that he had incited a school shooting. Of course, he didn't mention that
we
the
heard
school
about
shooting
that.
was in Idaho, but yeah, so this guy spent a couple months in jail because they set a $2 million bond, which of course he couldn't pay. But yeah, now the whole case got thrown out, and he sued over it, and now they have to pay him $835 million.
That's good for him.
Well, it's good for him. The part that sucks is, the sheriff who arrested him and the judge that set the bond, absolutely no penalties for them. They're both still on the job, no repercussions at all. So it winds up being the taxpayers that have to pay the $800 million.
That sucks.
And I
That
mean,
part sucks.
yeah, that, certainly the guy is entitled to some restitution for them keeping him locked up in jail for 2 months for nothing.
Yeah, there should be some repercussions on those people who are doing that.
Yeah.
Do you have a dog in the background barking there?
Sorry, I'm outside at the moment, but some neighbour's dog suddenly.
Okay.
That happens.
You're
not a big deal.
Sounding remarkably clear.
I mean, yes, it's a very. The dog has a good barking voice. Can this school year please be over? I'm tired. I want to sleep in again.
Yeah, it doesn't really help that up until I was in my mid 40s, I still hit my worst depression, the bottom of my cycle every year in the first week of September. And I knew full well that was because of anxiety with the new school year starting, even after I'd been out of school for almost 30 years.
Oh, I get that as well. I get the anxiety seeing a school bus drive by.
I get anxiety seeing my students
I can't
walk
tell
in.
the difference because I'm constantly wired with anxiety.
Oh. What was that purpose?
So I get anxiety seeing some of my students walk in every hour.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't imagine having to deal with 30 teenagers at one time. Just no.
It's some of the classes. I mean, it just depends on the group of people, the mix, and how much they want to be there.
Well, that's the thing. I'm assuming that most of them would rather be anywhere else, especially with the reputation of, math classes. Nobody wants to do math.
Well, I also teach computer science, but that's required this year too. So, hey, now there's nothing wrong with doing math.
Mathematics is the alphabet, which it's the only language that describes physical reality accurately.
Besides, well, I've been learning to play the guitar. It's like during one of the lessons, I was counting out the rhythms, and then the guitar instructor was like, "You should never mix numbers and letters together like that. It'll get you confused." And I just looked at him and said, "It's like, that's really bad advice to give an algebra teacher, right?"
Well, mathematics was the first universal language. It is the first language we have that is understood everywhere in the world.
Or not.
Okay, everywhere except America.
Some Americans understand it.
And Britain.
Just not understood by the people in America or in
Yeah, well, like one of the greatest examples is why the McDonald's 1/3 pound burger flopped because too many Americans thought a third was less than a quarter.
Is that serious?
Yeah,
Crikey.
that's why that McDonald's burger didn't stay around very long, because people thought it was
Yeah.
a smaller burger patty.
Yeah, it's the classic sort of thing. Certainly in the UK, McDonald's has got such a bad reputation, but can somehow still manage to fail upwards and make shitloads of money.
Well, the reason McDonald's succeeds is people have very low expectations for the quality. They just expect it to be fast.
We can't even get that right. They can't even get that right here.
Yeah. But the idea is just while you're running around, it's supposed to be a real fast meal.
Its big appeal here was that it was cheap, and it was cheap really, but it's not even that anymore. It's like,
Yeah, I am not paying $9 for a Big Mac. Sorry.
I was thinking about occasionally going out and getting myself a Baconator from Wendy's.
Yeah. We started to get a few Wendy's popping up there. We got one in the city I live in now. So there's a few that are popping up at the moment. So Wendy's, Popeyes, Wingstop. They seem to be like new, like American chains that seem to be popping up around the UK now.
But Wingstop isn't even very good.
Compared to Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's the bomb. But I think.
Sorry, I like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken has good biscuits, Alan.
But yeah, if it's going to be any of the US like chicken chains, to me, Popeyes is the best one. But then again, we don't have a lot of the other ones that you have in the US. So I will say. Churches, no, we don't have them. We don't have Raising Cane's or anything like that. But, I will say the one thing that did fall flat on its face here was Chick-fil-A when they tried to. Their reputation preceded them. So every day they were open for about 2 months. That then one outlet was open. There was protests outside every day from like LGBTQ groups.
You want to know something about Chick-fil-A? When they originally decided to make that decision in 2012, just before the decision was announced, there was a preacher by the name of Alistair Begg who said in his church, "Don't make gay marriage an issue this year because there are people on both sides who want to manipulate us." And guess who happened to have been attending his Christian businessman's conference? And then I called in the church and I asked his secretary, Kate Roberts, whatever her name is now, it's one of theirs, and she might not even be there anymore. What's going on? And she said that you'll find out because someone thinks that they need to get Democrats to be mean to Christians to win an election, and then about a week after that, Sunday, Chick-fil-A did that decision, and they just did that to try to get Democrats to do things to scare Christians into voting for them.
Okay.
I don't even believe that they genuinely care about that issue according to their Christian convictions, and they shouldn't even force their shit on everybody, because if it's not disrupting the business, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
If someone's getting married, so what? It doesn't affect your business. So why are you making everyone miserable? But it was just to get Democrats to react in a way that would get Christians to vote for gun.
Speaking of homophobes, guess what I've been dealing with on Instagram all day?
Oh.
Oh, of course.
Because apparently they didn't like me saying, and I was posting like a clip from a local pub doing a stand-up routine because they didn't like the joke, the fact that the clip started with, regardless of what you think of Trump, he is an amazing magician. He's made half the Epstein files disappear.
Yeah, more than that. So
Well,
is it a
I thought the Artemis mission was because they were looking for somewhere to bury the files.
I was wondering, is it a Burger King in the UK or is it a Hungry Jack's? Because I know in Australia it's a Hungry Jack's.
It's Burger King.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the main three like big fast food outlets would be McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. I'm not counting the pizza ones because obviously we've got Domino's and I think to a lesser extent Papa John's and Pizza Hut, but the Domino's are everywhere. But but the biggest sort of burger place in the UK used to be a chain called Wimpy, but they're like a shadow of their former self now. They were like a British. Well, I think they started off as an American chain, but they become very much a British kind of chain.
Yeah.
But most of their outlets in the sort of late 1980s got made into Burger Kings.
So is it true that all of these restaurants have the core feature of taking the one thing that makes something American worthwhile and carefully removing it? So it's not fast food, it's slow fast food.
It seems like that way. I mean, it was at one time. It was the whole reason you kind of went into a McDonald's is okay, it's cheap, it's cheerful, and you'll probably be in and out of there in like half an hour tops. It's I mean, it doesn't feel that way anymore now. So you go in there, you can be easily waiting 20 minutes for your order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, just wait for the food war, so that every restaurant is Taco Bell.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot about them. Yeah, they're popping all up over the UK now as well.
Unfortunately, the one near me actually closed. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, we've got 2 of them here.
Craig can't wait to start working. I'm not gonna eat out every day like I did in American, but I would like some days.
I'm going to say, you know that joke from Demolition Man? I don't know if you know this, but in the original, in UK release of Demolition Man, they substituted Taco Bell for Pizza Hut because nobody in the UK at the time would have known what the hell Taco Bell was.
Then Pizza Hut and Taco Bell were owned by the same company. So
they were owned by Pepsi, weren't they? And Yum brand.
They're all.
KFC was owned by the same company too.
Yeah, Long Silvers and the KFC are both also Yum.
Yeah, we don't have.
And
we don't have Long John Silvers, but
yeah, they were all owned by PepsiCo at the time that movie was made, but Pepsi has sold them off some years ago.
I think they know Long John Silvers. I mean, if you try to sell like fried fish and whatever here and whatever, bear in mind that like fish and chips is one of our biggest things. Like it wouldn't work.
Shiver me timber, shiver me soul, yo ho heave ho.
Yeah, I actually like
Long John Silver's I ran into. I'm sorry.
I actually like Long John Silver's, but now there's only one of them left in the state of Illinois, and it's in Mall of America. And it's like, it's the only thing that ever will get me into Mall of America is when the Lego store has some really special promotion.
How do we have 2 in Terre Haute? Sorry.
You must have stole one of ours.
The last Long John Silver's I was in, or I ran into it was in 2021 before I left for New York. And then the last A&W fish restaurant, I think they're somehow related, closed where I was, I think in 2020. 4 or 25.
Yeah, we lost our last Ponderosa Steakhouse in the state, closed during COVID because they had a buffet and buffets were not popular during COVID, so it closed during COVID and it never reopened. And about 2 years ago, they just completely leveled it and built a quick oil change place there instead.
Oh, I just trying to remember the other like US sort of burger chain that's actually all over the UK. I keep forgetting about them. Five Guys. They're all but they're expensive as hell.
They're not
Yeah.
bad. At least around here, they're not bad.
I mean, they are. Like, they would probably do a much better burger than anyone else. But we get, but they're bloody expensive.
Well, I was going to say they are more expensive than the other burger places, but they actually give you enough to make it worth the price.
Yeah.
They're definitely larger burgers and, just larger orders of everything.
I mean, yeah, I think it's obviously the thing is that it's like, if you go to most high streets in the UK, you guys would probably recognise a lot of the outlets or whatever, and be like, yeah, we got these in the States, or these are American.
Well,
I mean, like the coffee culture very much come over here, like, but there's a British chain called Costa that are absolutely way bigger than Starbucks though here, way bigger.
Well,
but they're all kind of the same thing,
The first time I went to a Five Guys was like in 2010, and that was the first time that I paid $5 for a burger that I wasn't upset about it, that I didn't feel they were ripping me off.
Yeah, try getting a blooming Big Mac meal for £5 here and now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Now a Big Mac is close to $9 here now. But one of the things that a lot of people still don't realize, one of the things that why McDonald's is so successful is it's not because of the restaurant. It's because of
land.
real estate.
Real estate, yeah. That's I mean that I understand that realization is kind of how Ray Kroc was kind of able to push the McDonald brothers out of the out of the picture altogether.
Well, and that's why they can have, like 3 McDonald's along a 5-mile stretch of the same road and still make money.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Starbucks are trying to prevent unions.
Not very successfully, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
No, not too well. They've been buried under them a couple of times.
There was quite a big attempt a number of years ago in the UK to with the Bakers and Food Workers Union to try and get some of the fast food unionized. There were a number of McDonald's outlets that did sort of actually participate in a strike, but obviously it didn't. It was ultimately 16. They were going to go full out to crush that, make sure that didn't, get too much momentum going.
Yeah. Stop the Stupidity was saying Five Guys had the best fries. And
I'm not sure.
Well, the main thing is that they fry them in peanut oil.
I'm not sure if it's the best fries, but you do get a lot of them.
Yeah, but okay, Sloth Girl was allergic to nuts.
I like Checkers fries.
Yeah, Sloth Girl was allergic to nuts, but Five Guys was the one thing that she would take double allergy pills and endure it just because she liked them that much.
Is it Checkers? Is the one wasn't it? Well, actually, I think there's a couple of different ones, isn't there? There's where they're called Checkers in one part of the US and they're called something else in another part of the US.
It's Checkers or Rallies.
Rallies. And there's something similar of is it Hardee's in another one, isn't there?
Hardee's
Yeah.
and Carl's Jr.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'd
depending on
actually
which region of the country you're in.
yeah, I do remember. Because the last time I was in the US, it was in Kentucky, and I do remember we ended up in a Hardee's one day. So
And Rallies is where you go when you want to punish your stomach because you hate it.
yeah.
Checkers, I assume, is the same too, but it's not as expensive as some of the other
I-
fast food offerings.
I vaguely remember Checkers, but it literally has been decades since I've seen one.
There's a Checkers around here. At least last I looked.
Now, one a lot of people make fun of that I like is Arby's. You know, and I like the
That's a
basic.
great place.
I
like,
still have an Arby's
yeah.
here.
Aren't they do like roast beef?
Oh, and
or
I
something,
love
or-
Arby's
Yeah.
fries too. The pearly fries. That was your Austin.
Yeah, the curly
I would
fries
go
are
there
Well,
just
are
for the
good.
fries.
I like
Yes.
the potato cakes, and Arby's is the only place that has those. And they took them off the menu for a couple of months, and apparently there was such an outcry they had to bring them back.
Yeah, my friend likes the potato cakes too.
Yeah, you know, just there's something different that you couldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, my grocery store actually sells the Arby's fries. You can buy them in a big bag and cook them at home.
Oh yeah, and you can buy the bottles of the Arby's sauce now at grocery stores too.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to look for it. I like that Arby's sauce.
Yeah, well, I love the Arby's sauce, and just, you know, just the basic, the original roast beef sandwich, which is nothing but a lot of slices of roast beef on a bun.
Yep.
You know, and then you add the Arby's sauce, and that's great.
Also, like I also like the cheese, and usually if you get one with cheese, they'll give you a bun that has onion on it.
Okay, I was up early. I'm starting to nod off, so I'm going to head out. And
Oh, okay.
I was going to say the kitty will get the nap she demands from the human earlier than normal on her Wednesday.
Well,
See
yeah.
you later, porpoise.
Rest well, friend.
Yeah,
Oh, I've got a dog sleeping at my foot, and of course she has to be sleeping.
I
with
made
her
the
foot
SWAT team
touching me.
too.
yeah. You don't need me to fall asleep on stream, so
No.
Ah,
I'm
It
pretty
wouldn't be
sure
the
I
first
ended
time.
up. I'm pretty sure I ended up doing that on Sammy's stream the other day, but it was like an 8-hour long stream. But I do remember. All I remember is that there was some Christian guy on there, and me and him got into it, and it ended up as a fucking dumpster fire. So
yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, that's this show had started out as Midnight MidAmerica. And like back when the Lavender Lady was still with us in the early days, Lavender and I would get going on here starting at midnight, and we would run, 6 or 8 hours. So basically running from midnight till sunrise. So yeah, we had people falling asleep on the panel all the time.
I mean, I do remember. I think I did fall asleep once on I think it was one Beelzebub stream. But to be fair, I think I'd come on like earlier that day, and it was because we were talking about like the fact we were on strike in the UK at the time, and I think to be fair to me, like his stream was like about 11 o'clock at night my time, and I'd been up since 4 in the morning. So,
It's almost 10:30 here, and probably 10:30 where you are, if not 9:30.
at 9:30 where we are.
Yeah, because it's 3:30 here. I know the UK is 6 hours ahead of me.
Time traveling. Weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why the rest of you can't get on the proper time, but
Well, the sun keeps moving around the flat Earth, and it sort of just confuses us.
Well, I'm on the proper time. No one else is though around here.
no, sorry, Mage, you're running a bit fast.
I was going to say that. I mean, like, at least we as a country can all get on the same time. You guys like can't,
Well, okay, but that's only because you as a country are about the size of my state.
Well, yeah, that's like we're about the right size, is what I'd
Yeah.
say. We're just about the right size.
And if you're allowing for land area, most states in the U.S. only have one time zone.
Mm.
I don't know why Michigan decided to be weird about it.
Because it's Michigan.
Michigan is weird.
Well, Michigan has one time zone for the entire state, except the 5 counties that border Wisconsin. Those stay on Wisconsin time when Michigan switches their time.
There's a spot up near the panhandle of Florida where you can actually cross over the state line and be in a different time zone.
That happens at the state line a lot of places. A lot of places, the time zone lines don't run straight, but they'll follow the state border.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting.
To be fair, I mean, last time I left Florida, I went about 100 years forward in time.
Yeah, it was like we left at the same time we arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flying from California to Chicago, it happens that you can arrive if you fly from Chicago to California, you can arrive at the same time you left, but then the return trip takes 4 hours.
Yeah. This reminds me of the I know he died like about a year or so ago, but the wrestler Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I wasn't aware he had died, actually.
Oh yeah, he died. He died.
Yeah.
Not that long, maybe about
he one of his, because he was known for telling, shall we say, quite some interesting well, let's just call them what they are, out and out lies, but they were so funny, some of them.
Yeah,
come on.
He once claimed that he actually wrestled 400 days in 1 year because he used to keep flying between the United States and Japan, and because of the time zones. Okay, now it is true that he used to regularly fly between Japan and the United States wrestle, but he's kind of forgetting that every time he jumped forward a day by flying to Japan, that he was going to lose that time every time he flew back to the United States.
Okay, come on. You can't make your career out of getting your head smashed onto the ground and not have some odd thoughts.
Yeah. I had some trouble.
He actually claimed that Metallica tried to hire him as a bass player at one time, but it was like.
I had some trouble. I dealt with his funeral on my Medium Musings channel. I had to separate his character persona from his real life persona.
Yeah, because the only thing I can say is he wasn't the worst right winger as a pro wrestler, because I think he could, as bad as he tried, he could never be as bad as the Ultimate Warrior was in real life. Because that guy was a real asshole.
You're talking about the WWF?
Yeah,
that's long ago.
That's a long time ago.
It's called WWE now.
Mm.
Yeah, speaking of wrestlers and politics, Jesse Ventura has been being rather critical of the Republican Party lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura is a little bit too much of the conspiracy theories.
That's the only thing with Jesse is the fact that I've always quite liked him, but he's gone way too deep into a lot of conspiracy theories. I think
I agree.
Because I don't mind his politics.
Yeah, neither do I.
He actually used to lean toward the Republicans, and he got elected to be governor of Minnesota, running as an independent.
Well, he definitely changed his tune, apparently.
Well, he actually tried.
As far
when
as
he was a wrestler, though, he tried to unionize the wrestlers.
Yeah, and he blamed Hulk Hogan for stopping that.
Well, that came out in because he was having a legal battle with the WWE at the time.
Yeah.
Over like unpaid royalties, and he kind of snuck in, managed to get his lawyer to ask. He said, "Hey, I want to know how Vince McMahon found out I was trying to unionize."
Yeah.
And it turned out that Hogan was the one who ratted him out.
Yeah.
And that Vince McMahon said that in court, so it was like, so yes, that's how Jesse Ventura found out it was Hogan that sort of ratted him out.
I liked him in the movies, like in Predator or something.
Yeah.
With Mr. Painless.
I don't have time to bleed.
I don't have time to bleed. Yeah.
Well, he does have legitimate military service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
I remember him going off against this guy of Sniper.
Oh, Chris Kyle. Yeah, he had a big I think because there was some issue with them, wasn't there? Yeah, I forget what it was about now.
I also don't remember what it was because yeah, he was really getting off of him. He even challenged him or something for a fight. I don't know, something like that. Oh, I like Jesse Ventura.
You ever see Suburban Commando for Hulk Hogan's movies?
no.
That was Hulk Hogan himself, not the Suburban Commando. Or was he also there in there?
Yeah, that was his movie. Yeah,
that was his movie. He was the star of that movie.
Yeah.
It was Ramsey.
Well, so let's be honest though, if it comes to wrestlers doing movies, I'm still partial to Rowdy Roddy Piper and They Live.
Yeah. With the big fight to just put the sunglasses on this other guy.
That was the longest fight in cinematic history for that at the time.
Yeah.
And and they actually went at it with the fight, except they just made the crotch shots and face shots. They pulled the punches for those, but the rest of it was actually them punching each other.
Yeah. I think Roddy Piper wasn't even bad. They say he couldn't act. I think he wasn't bad for a wrestler.
No, I didn't think he was bad either.
I mean,
Well, he had his own
Batista's
animated series too.
Dave Batista was obviously really good in Guardians of the Galaxy. I gotta say he was great in those movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was actually more of a Hulk Hogan's animated thing, but he was in there as the antagonist.
Yeah.
I'm
Dave
not sure if
Bautista
we're
is
talking
so.
about the same one because there actually was one that Rowdy Piper's name was in the title.
I think he made two movies. One was like he was the only fertile man left in the world, and he had to impregnate all these women, but he didn't feel like it, or something like that, as I would remember. Fucking for freedom.
Well, that actually was one of the themes of the post-apocalyptic movie A Boy and His Dog, was that he got captured by the women and brought down to their thing, and they explained that was the problem, was that they didn't want to breed with any of the men who were mutated or overly violent, except they weren't going to let him do it the natural way. I think there was something about that was too wasteful for him to waste it all on one woman at a time. So they actually just wanted to milk him so they could divide it up and impregnate several women at a time. So he didn't like that idea and he had to escape. That was a very strange movie.
Yeah, I see it here.
It was something of a cult classic.
Nope, I'm not pulling up anything on a cartoon with Rowdy's name on it. I've got,
Yeah, maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
I've got Hulk Hogan in Rockin' and Wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. Like Piper was like the head of like all the bad guy wrestlers.
Yeah, he was
wasn't
the.
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was one that was something like Rowdy Piper's Wrestling All Stars or something like that.
All I can come up,
He's dead.
with is
Yeah, just see it.
Yeah, Piper.
the only thing I'm coming up with is
he
his
died about
comic
10
book.
years ago, didn't he?
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
215.
Okay.
Yeah.
2015.
This is all I'm coming up is a comic book on him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It wasn't even something I paid a lot of attention to at the time, so I'm.
I didn't pay much attention to the cartoon either.
Yeah, well, just wrestlers in general, I didn't pay much
Yeah.
attention to.
Oh, he did more movies. He did like 50 even. Starred in 50 movies. So,
not a lot. Probably a lot of them not very memorable.
no, I won't believe that.
But
Or he was himself.
But I think everyone could agree that They Live is a classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, if you're looking up movies, go on IMDb and look up Jenny Morgan. She has credits on there of a movie that she did visual effects for, and she actually did appear in. She's credited in there as something like Restaurant Patreon or something.
You do realize we've got to find this movie and like have a watch party.
Yeah, I
That
think
would be
it's
something.
basically. I think she was like an extra in the background that you
Yeah.
probably saw her for like 15 seconds.
Okay, and then it's a context who sees her the first.
Yeah. No, but mostly she was on the film crew for that she did, her thing with the photography angles and all that stuff.
The only, I mean, certainly not credited, but the one, should we say, making of a movie that I actually had a very, very tiny little role in was the US Civil War film called Cold Mountain. One was like Nicole Kidman was in it, I think, Donald Sutherland, and all it was is because I think I told you I used to do like historical battle reenactments. I was part of a crew where they were recording us like firing off volleys and stuff like that for sound effects. So we were hoping that at least that our group would get a credit in the film. I wasn't expecting an individual credit, but I was hoping our group would, and we didn't even get that. I was a bit annoyed that we didn't get it.
I almost got a walk in the movie Jingle All the Way by accident because they filmed that in St. Paul. The parade scene was in St. Paul.
I thought you were going to say you were Arnold's stunt double.
No, but while they were filming it, I had no clue what was going on, and just me and like 3 other people just walked out the door, and there's this parade going on. And then there's somebody swearing that door was supposed to be locked, and they're running up to us with waivers for us to sign.
They did a movie with
apparently. Apparently that bit I was in got clipped out in the editing, so I didn't actually make it into the finished film.
Yeah, there was a movie that Anna Paquin did called Free Ride, and there were a bunch of scenes. Most of it got cut out of the movie, but there were a bunch of scenes filmed at my grandmother's house.
That's cool.
Yeah, there was one scene that made it into the movie. Yeah, it was at my grandmother's. It was when they were sitting at the pool.
Oh, excuse me.
The closest I've ever been to a real life, in a non-public movie spot was the pool where they tossed the Babe Ruth in, and my grandfather got a membership at the Rolling Hills Country Club just to throw Baby Ruth into that pool, the Caddyshack pool.
Ah,
Okay.
well, I had at one time thought I was, needed to do something that I would be famous after I died, but I have decided that my new goal in life is to be a cryptid, that there will only be a handful of people who will ever have actually seen me, and most everyone else won't believe I ever existed.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I'd sooner leave a myth of me behind than an actual. Yeah.
Oh, legends are so much better than
Mm,
history.
mm.
Here it is. This is the cut footage from
Ah,
Free Ride. This is my
so that's your
grandmother's.
grandma's house?
Yeah, there's an old chandelier. It's totally different now. My uncle owns the house, but this is the
Uh huh.
front door for the house.
Oh,
Uh,
So
oops,
did they use it as the way she had it, or did they have a crew come in and like replace the chandelier and things like that?
well, the chandelier is real. That's actually, but most of the stuff
Okay.
was replaced. But
Okay.
I'm keeping the
So
sound off here.
yep.
Let's see, find the other shot. So
Cool.
and this little banister here. That's going up to the stairs.
Uh huh.
And just off the screen where she just walked, there's a little office right there with a bunch of stuff.
So I wonder how they discovered her house and decided that was
oh,
just
they are house hunters.
This is they were hunting houses, and the reason why they picked my grandmother's house is because this orange sink you see right here is it was a very classic sink for the era that they were setting the movie in.
yeah, that's a very 70s kitchen.
But usually, like if you see over here these two things on the wall over the chair,
Uh huh.
those would have been pictures of Mary and Jesus usually.
Okay.
And it would have been that chair was replaced. That was been my grandfather's recliner right there. And the only thing that you see that's in this house, that's in this shot, that's real, is the dining table and chairs in the background here, and these
Mhm.
plants hanging here. Those are real.
What
Oh,
about the stove?
Yeah,
the
but I
stove
mean,
is real. Yeah,
I,
that's really my grandmother's stove. It
yeah,
was a gas stove, but
but
the pots and pans aren't real.
I mean, when they're searching locations, how did they wind up coming into her house
Well,
to
they're just
find
asking
out?
around,
Okay, so
and
they
they
just kind of went around the neighborhood and were asking randomly for people to
yeah.
let them see in their homes.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
and the people get paid for that. They can rent out their house for a
Oh
day
yeah.
for a
yeah,
movie.
she did get paid for it. In fact, there was this picture that they accidentally broke, and they replaced it for free. Looking at this, actually, the nutcracker that's sitting there here in the corner by the plants, that's also real.
Okay.
But
So yeah, just kind of a mix of what was actually her stuff and some movie props.
most of this is movie props. These chairs here are movie props.
Hmm.
You know, this table is real, but that's
The
it's a
chairs are
picture.
the
You don't
chairs
move
are the
that.
kind that you can slam someone over the head and they break in 1,000 pieces.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I couldn't tell if that was actually a separate table or if that was like a peninsula off of the counter.
Yeah, it's a peninsula off the counter, but it's attached. And where she's
Yeah.
looking out, there's a sliding glass door where she's looking out right now,
Okay.
and that's a beautiful little shot. You can see the bay and across the bay right there. I love
Mhm.
sitting. I used to love sitting right where this chair is and just looking out the bay and eating breakfast.
Hmm.
This is a different place. Let's see. Go back to. Okay, here we are. This is a spice cabinet. It opens up, and then there's another thing that's inside that opens up, and so it has like a double door kind of thing. So you
Uh huh.
first door, and then you have a second door. And when I was really little, I used to hide in that second door, behind that second door.
Ah.
Looks like they didn't do too much on replacing the spices, so they did take some out. Is that container there is definitely not real.
Hmm.
The ones she grabbed,
Yeah.
that's not real.
Yeah, that was a prop they intentionally put there for her to pick up.
Yeah. It looks like they may have left a few of them. And again, back to the front door.
Hmm.
So, here's a good shot. You can see that cabinet in the background in the second room. That's real. The piano's real. That light there is real. So a lot of the stuff in this background shot is real. And my grandmother would have never have allowed a little kid to run in through the house like that. Yeah, this is basically part of where I grew up. Let's see here. No, they cut. Looks like they cut to a different pool here. But there was, like I said, there was one shot that of all the stuff that they filmed. Here's a nice another shot. You have the right over the fireplace. There used to be a very intricate. There was an intricate, very intricate clock over that instead of that picture. But the fireplace is real. It's all stone.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they replaced pretty much everything that were on the shelves.
Yeah.
And there would have been a table behind this woman where my grandmother would do puzzles. Actually, the that rack covering the fireplace, that's real.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see the out into the new pool patio with the chairs and stuff here in this shot. You can see the pool here in this shot. But actually, that you can see that chair that you see right here, in the very corner in the left. That's where they're sitting in this one shot that makes it into the film. So
cool.
Yeah.
Oh. I should find somebody with a good movie camera. I think all we need is somebody with a good camera and a gorilla suit, and we could go down in the woods by the river and we could convince people we had a Bigfoot sighting.
Or we can just get Aaron Ra.
And then you can raise money to go and find the Bigfoot and then tug off and retire.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I actually mentioned Aaron Ra, so I had to point out to Neil the 604 atheist the other day because I just popped into. I was watching one of his streams and I was just in the live chat because he's asking, "Oh, Jay, how are you? I haven't seen you for a long time." I had to actually tell him, "Well, I've cut off all my hair that I used to have now, Neil. So Aaron's your only competition in the community now." Although, to be honest, I always say that to me, I was a very distant. I always think I was a very distant third.
Well, as long as you weren't like coming in 5th out of 3.
I would now because, like I said, I've actually cut my hair short now, and that avatar I've got is a little bit out of dated, but I've had it for so long, I've kind of like just kept it now.
Yeah, Bigfoot. He had long, beautiful hair. Ever see that compilation? Bigfoot found with Aaron Ra.
I think one of the best bits of fan stuff I've ever seen done of Aaron was someone did him as the Hulk. In that whole thing of in the Avengers movie when the Hulk grabs Loki by the leg, it was like bang, 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 bang.
That's the beautiful scene.
Yeah, the difference being it's Aaron and the person he's doing that to is Kent Hovings. It's like, I'm a doctor, don't you know? Boom, boom, boom,
is it somewhere?
Boom. Yeah. I think they were all photos. I don't think it was a video as such, but it was like just done. But it made me chuckle. It was just like, I just thought I had to put the comment there, puny doctor.
Well, with AI, I'm sure you can do it now.
Here, I'm sure that Aaron wouldn't mind for people who don't know what we're talking about here. Just
if you full screen it, you can get it.
Aaron's got a good sense of humor.
Yep.
He's
Just have to make sure
in
it's
Bigfoot.
Tim Peeler thought
Yeah.
he was calling coyotes.
I come out here and rough talk
There you go.
him
Yeah,
and
that,
run
that
him
click
off.
on that. There you
Got
go.
him to leave, called 911. Then the creature came back.
And I said, get away
Yeah.
from here. Get,
That
get.
Deputies filed a suspicious person report, and Tim is still recalling the details.
He looked like he had 6 fingers on each hand. This thing
It-
was 10 foot tall.
I was trying to find
He
that
had
drawing.
Beautiful hair.
It's beautiful
In the
hair.
mountains of New Mexico, I brought a sweater. And as I'm walking through the woods, I noticed it's also extremely quiet. You pick up the slightest sound. I was being followed by a pack of coyotes, and I was getting a little iffy about this. I decided I needed to scare these things off, so I raised my arms up like this. Roared as loud as I could to scare the little buggers away. Really broke the still of the night, by the way. I realized I had to get a ride immediately. I have to get this car's attention now. So when the headlights finally got out where they could see me, I raised my arms again and yelled. Again, trying to get their attention. And they almost hit me, swerved, skidded around me. The next car that came by, just shortly thereafter that, I did the same thing, and with much the same result. And one of the most interesting things in Luna, New Mexico at that time was the many sightings of Sasquatch 2 days earlier.
Proof of Bigfoot exists.
Cattle hands, various passerby on the road had reported seeing and hearing the roars of the legendary monster.
And I said, get away from here.
hello.
Get.
Grass is
Deputies
good.
filed a
Yeah, it
suspicious
is.
person report, and Tim is still recalling the details.
This thing
Especially that drawing.
I'm going to say Bree needs to do this as cryptid corner.
He had beautiful
Yeah.
hair.
And that was when I finally really didn't believe in Bigfoot anymore, because it's kind of hard to maintain that belief when you realize you're him.
That little bit at the very end would be perfect for a clip.
yeah.
Clip that little last part out where he's doing the drawing, or maybe add in the get part.
Oh yeah, told you about my my 1 second meeting with Aaron Rod. I think it was in
Yeah.
Utrecht. Yeah, bumped into him and I said, "Shit, your hair is longer than mine." Yes, it is. He said.
Well, and, okay, because of that, one in 2018 for Christmas, my sister gave me a bumper sticker that said Bigfoot saw me, but no one believed him. So when I went to the art protest in 2019, Aaron Raw was there, and I got him to sign that bumper sticker for me.
Whoa.
So yeah, now I've got the bumper sticker framed with the picture of me with Aaron Raw, but I hadn't done a face reveal, so it's a picture of Aaron Raw and me standing next to him with my Triceratops mask.
Yeah, my hair is probably closer to Thunderfoot's is when I have it not tied back.
Yeah. I used to have a ponytail down to my belt when I was in my 30s. And my ex convinced me to try cutting it short and said, if you don't like it, it'll grow back. And that's one of the things I will never forgive, because it never has grown back. I've got it now that's just below my shoulder blades, and that's the longest it's ever been.
My hair is longest it's ever been, and unfortunately, hasn't the key coming back. Falling
Yeah.
out.
I've been finding
Yeah, but,
my hair has been getting. Yeah, my hair has actually been getting better since I've been increasing the protein intake.
Yeah. Well, when she convinced me to try cutting it shorter, we got it and we donated the hair to one of those charities that makes wigs for cancer patients.
Hold on, let me check Molly. I bet that's probably my thing coming.
Yep, but just the part they cut off was 21 inches of my ponytail, and the 21 inches was really just from, just below my ears down to my belt. So the full thing probably another 3 inches. It was a legitimate 2 feet long.
I mean, the reason I actually cut mine off was it was a couple of years back when I when I ended up out of work and I was basically trying to go for job interviews, and there's still a bit of a thing about like guys with long hair.
Yeah.
And so I just figured that my chances of actually getting employed might be improved a little bit if I actually cut it off. But I've kind of enjoyed it, actually. I don't know, I think the thing is, it's making me realize that like I'm in my mid to late 40s now, and realizing that I actually look a bit younger than I did 10 years ago is perhaps why I've not grown it back.
The only thing I enjoyed about having it cut shorter was that there were 2 cute women in our friends group that kept wanting to run their fingers through my hair then. And my ex did not handle jealousy well.
I've saved a fortune in shampoo as well, which is also good.
My ex did not handle jealousy well, even though she claimed to be poly, but it was only poly if she got to pick everyone. So the fact that I was getting more attention from other women really upset her.
Yeah, well, long or short, that doesn't really work for me either way in that department. So you know.
Well, that's what always bothered her about, you know, that the whole thing.
I'm so ugly. I could be an masterpiece, you know. So
yeah. Well, you know, before I got into a relationship, I was very clear with her that, you know, I don't do monogamy. You know, I have to at least, you know, feel that we're open to some other options, as long as everybody involved knows what's going on and everybody's okay with it. But yeah, she didn't actually like the idea that at the parties I seemed to get more attention than she did. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Nage, I have a short little video I filmed in my Discord that can take our ADHD and focus it for a little bit. We are unsupervised, folks. What can we do? Nothing? I'm restoring we should be doing something.
Well, we can't get a stream demonetized that's not already not monetized, can we? So
yeah.
I think the inmates here, we truly are running the asylum right now, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess it's you and I. And we have to find some way of entertaining these folks, and I don't have OBS open.
Well,
or set up before it.
I could tell you a joke, because I heard this good joke yesterday about people who are condescending. The only problem is I'd have to explain it to you.
I get it.
Sorry. I know a joke about solipsism, but I'm the only one who'd get it.
I get it. You know.
I'm not doing very well with this entertaining the crowd stuff here, am I?
No, I think you're not. Well, it was one thing is I always wanted to either play and record things or the one with someone else, because it's easier to bounce off if you don't have a subject.
Yeah. Okay, that was just the Amazon delivery. I was going forward, and Molly just got all excited and wanted to play.
Oh, I found something that will be good to keep folks entertained, and it's about cats.
Oh.
Presenting a video.
Okay.
It does involve foul language, but it's cute.
Oh, I see a dog down here, and I see the cat pictures that you had previously.
Fucker 9959007A.
The dog one then.
Cunt number 1. And this is cunt number 2. One steals a plunger, and the other a shoe. Link is a sausage, naughty and wild. Mash is a potato, a little bastard child. Mash is so obsessed, his love undying. Link fucking hates him, and sends him flying. Mash listens nicely. He comes when you call. But this prick ignores you, like he heard fuck all. They're needy as hell, and stubborn as shit. But life would be boring without these twats in it.
That's a great poem. That's great poetry.
I'm sorry.
I had to share it.
I'm sorry I have to, keep muting here, but this is one of the reasons, actually the biggest reason, why I have been asking people about what would be a better day for us to switch the stream to. Because for some reason, every single specialist in my healthcare network only takes appointments on Wednesdays and only returns phone calls on Wednesdays.
Wow, that really does suck.
I'm not sure.
Well, like June 10th, I have 3 doctor's appointments all scheduled back to back because that's the only day any of these 3 doctors are at the clinic. And it's not at one clinic either. Of course, it has to be 3 separate clinics I have to go to.
Oh, of course.
So
that'd be too easy.
Yeah, so that's why on June 10th, I will probably be late for the stream.
I can run it, no problem. As long as I don't get another electrical storm that fries my system.
Yeah.
Boom.
So I will just brief plug for next week's. Next week would have been Sloth Girl's 60th birthday. So if people can think about that ahead of time and like maybe bring some of your favorite Sloth Girl jokes.
I was gonna say that sounds like a stream for like bad jokes. Now I know I've just done a couple, but Sloth Girls were better than mine. So
yep, bad jokes, lousy puns, dad jokes, whatever.
Yeah.
I hope you did hear that poem about the puppies and how they're all kind of singing.
Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah, I still had the sound on. I just had to hang up my microphone. So yeah, I saw the whole thing about the puppies and the rhyme that sounded rather like Dr. Seuss Parameter.
And Dr. Seuss and Bud and the Fowler now, yes.
Yeah, well,
if you are drawing this to a close, because I don't know, but because I do have to jump off in a few minutes anyway. So
yeah, well, it is after 4 o'clock here, so yeah, we probably should wrap up here. So go ahead, Scummer, since you're on. You have any final thoughts on anything you want to throw in here?
No, not massively. Really, but yeah, I'll just plug myself, I suppose. Yeah, just come subscribe to my channel if you're not already, because I'm trying to get to 666. Then I'm gonna have a little party on my stream. So I'm just a little over 620 at the moment, I think. So
yeah, I was kind of annoyed myself that I missed that mark, and I didn't quite see it go by. I should have had a special thing for that too.
Well, normally it's the sort of thing if you hit like a certain like a round number, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I thought,
well, it would be like when you hit 1,000 for most people, but you're not going to know that's going to take years yet.
Yeah. I mean, the last time I had a video that got like a few thousand views, most of it was from angry Christians who obviously really shitty comments about me, which was so didn't really do much on my subscriber base. I mean, I will say it was
Helps the algorithm, though.
Help the algorithm. It did help the algorithm. I'll say that. But then, but instead of capitalizing on that, I sort of went away from YouTube for about a year. So,
yep. I did do one when I hit 333 that I was halfway to hell.
Yeah.
And I did do a show for when I had done my 500th stream.
But yeah, I am sort of kind of coming back semi-regularly. I might be doing a debate with a Christian guy at some point, but I don't want to plug it just yet because we got to agree terms on this, and so
yeah.
But that is something I'm working on in the pipeline. But that probably won't be on my channel though. I'm looking for a neutral venue for that. So.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been, asking people about moving this to another day, and it seems most people don't really care. We've got a couple of votes that Friday afternoon might be better. So at this point, that may be, like maybe starting in July, we might go to Fridays. But like I say, I'm looking for input from everybody. So if there are other people who would be available on other days, let us know whether you want to be on the panel or even just that it would be a better time for you to watch it.
Right. See, just getting back into coming on Wednesdays, now you're moving it. but
well, yeah, because I know you're just here to try and suck off my audience for your own shows.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
So the least I can do is make it a moving target so you can't steal all my fans.
Oh, the hangouts are cool.
Okay. Commander, you have anything you want to add today before we wrap up?
If you had some little Swedish sausages at home, little bastards that are silly and London, and that's all, folks.
Do you know that those dogs really are where the term hot dog came from?
Yeah, Doxies.
Yeah, well, that's it. It was a vendor at Wrigley. There was a German vendor at Wrigley Field.
1060 West Edison.
Yeah, he was advertising Dachshund Hound sausages.
I know the address as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers, exactly.
Sorry.
But there was a German sausage vendor who was, shouting out, Dachshund sausages. And, so there was an American who saw that he was making decent money at it. So he opened up his own stand in there to compete with him, just in another section of the bleachers. But he just thought yelling Dachshund sausages were too much, so he just changed it to hot dogs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's the only address I know.
I mean, there is something new every day.
That is good. Yeah, that's the only baseball stadium I know the address of as well. So
I know this is the only address, period, I know in the United States. 1060 West Edison.
Yeah, when the neo-Nazis turned up, that was fantastic.
I only have seen this film only about 75 times, so
is that all?
Something was
is that
thick.
All? Huh? Is that all? Well, I've seen it at least 3 times that amount. So.
It came out in the 80s, and And I downloaded it for the fourth time because now they have an extended version.
Yeah, I've got the extended cut as well. So
Well, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, so I knew a lot of that scenery. And in one scene, right before they get into the cities, they're coming in through Winnetka, and you can see as they're driving past the house of the girl that I took to my high school prom.
Oh yeah, Lower Wacker Drive. That is, I also know that address.
Yeah. Another one was a courier who got hopelessly lost. Again, this was back before people had GPSs or anything.
guys,
And
I'm sorry,
actually,
I do have to bounce though. I've got to go
Okay.
get some sleep. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'll see you all later. All right.
Okay,
Later.
bye
Right.
bye.
Right.
Yeah, there was a courier who spent like 2 hours trying to find the address of 875 North Michigan Avenue. And he was asking people, and nobody knew what that address was. If they had written the John Hancock building on the package, everybody would have known where he was going.
Yeah.
Okay, Ned, you got anything you want to add in here?
Nope. Short.
Okay. Mage, your final thoughts for the day?
It was the best of times is the worst. No. Well, I got my try to do my Thursday midnight show tomorrow. If anybody wants to catch it,
Okay.
we'll try and pick up on Death Note some more.
All right. Yep. Yeah, with Jenny gone, it's just been Greg and I, but it would be nice
Yeah.
to have some other people join in.
You can hit me up for a link to it. I usually have it in my own Discord. I can put it into Purple's Discord if anybody wants it, or in the DM group on Twitter X or Blue
Yeah.
Sky if you want to contact me through there.
Well, you can certainly plug it on my Discord if you want to see if other people wander in from there.
Yeah, I guess I'll put it in the Discord someplace.
Okay. Yeah, I've got. Oh, real life is going to be hammering me for about the next month. Just too many things going on.
Yeah, watch as soon as you change the day of the show. Oh, that's when all your appointments get changed.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I've got to take a trip down to Kenosha, a pilgrimage back to Sloth Girl's hometown.
So would it be good to put it in general or to promote my shit or?
Yeah, put it in the plug yourself thing.
All right.
But yeah, so I've got that trip. I've got apartment inspections coming up, which I am definitely not ready for. And then in July, I have a family reunion to go to. And if I can find the money for it, I'd like to go to the art protest again in July. So, but that is looking unlikely unless I wind up getting some help from somebody. Just because I'm having too much trouble paying off the vet bills from Petunia and Sammy-san.
Yeah, I'm sure the
so
gas price is doubling.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. With the gas prices what they are, driving to Kentucky is seeming pretty steep. Although, last time I did it, I drove from here to Indiana, and then I rode with Sinister Porpoise from there. So at least we were able to share the cost of gas halfway. Okay, so anyway, I am just babbling now, so we'll let all you people go, and we will see you here next week. Bye-bye, all.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Later.
Bye bye.